Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Good morning. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Peace Kwizera. Coming up on Rise and Shine.
The ubumuntu International Conference kicks off in Kigali.
And in sports, we look at the Golf Genocide Memorial Tournament.
It's Motivation Monday again here at Rise and Shine Rwanda. Well, all that and more still to come, but first we get to meet the rest of the team. Good morning, Stefan.
Good morning, Ivan.
Ready for another new?
Yeah, definitely ready.
No, good morning, Chantal.
Good morning, Ivan.
What's up with the world of business out there?
Everything is perfect.
I hear most vendors are saying we're saying no to people trying to take away Chagua.
Yeah, of course, because that's where the life is. But we shall see, we shall see.
All right, morning, Peace.
Good morning.
You're doing great.
I think so.
Oh, you think so? No, I hope you're so. I hope so, Nako. So, well, basically, first of all, before we get into the stories, I would love to say that though it is Monday, yesterday was Father's Day. So I'd love to wish all the fathers. Stephen, are you a father?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. But to all the fathers, happy Father's Day.
But also all the mothers who acted as fathers.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
All the mothers who have made men good fathers also, you know. But this is a special day, all the fathers.
Okay.
But first, we first look at the stories making headlines here in Rwanda and across the world. The First Lady Jeannette Kagame said that the well-being of the Rwandan child is a primary responsibility of the parents before the involvement of any other third party, reaffirming the central role of the family in promoting social integration and a healthy society for children to thrive. Mrs. Kagame said this while officiating the 25th International Day of the African Child, themed quality education is a stable foundation for a bright future of the child. Celebrating the African child. This also reminded me that South Africans were celebrating the Youth Day, which again looks back at some of their history and everything. But focus now on this day, the African Child Day. How far have we come as a continent in making sure that the African child does get the quality education? I'll start off with this story, especially with Stephen.
Well, Africa is a bit broad, but let me focus on what the points that were raised at this ceremony.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a point of the street children, children running out of homes, and well, that is a key area. We have a lot of street kids on the streets, and well, that's something maybe as a country we need to focus on.
Yeah, something very important also is on the part of education, looking at the fact that Africa, most countries at least now have embraced the idea, including Rwanda, of universal education, but all comes up with the quality. How far have we come with that state?
Actually, as Rwandans, we have really come from far, and we are going far with the education. The President and also the First Lady have been encouraging parents to take their kids to school. Now that we have UPE, now that organizations are coming in to even build more schools and send kids to school. So we also have the International Labour Organization coming in, partnering with all these other organizations, excuse me, to make sure that the kids go to school. So they are the future after all. So this has been really good for us.
All right, especially with the fact that also this was in conjunction with the International Labour Organization trying to say, let's also stop child labor, which was the theme for this year, in connection with this one. Peace.
Of course. Moving on to the second story of today. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan led the other investors to make a $24 million investment in Andela, Nigeria, to start up a train software for developers in Africa. In a Facebook post, Zuckerberg said that he and his wife invested in Andela to help and train top talents in Africa. Now, I just want to know what this means for, at a time like this for Africa, what this would mean for Nigeria or even Africa at large, because we don't necessarily have high-tech institutions going on, especially in Africa. That's why some of us or different people in Africa usually go out there to get that kind of knowledge. Ivan, starting off with you.
Number one, I wouldn't even just focus on that. I would just focus on the generous giving of Mark Zuckerberg and the wife. I think over the years they have been able to say we're almost giving out half of what we own to the people. And for me, this has been very generous of him. And he's leading the other philanthropist in giving. point to make on this one. I think, of course, Africa is the rising part of the world, and we have a very young and very energetic, well-educated generation that is coming up. Such opportunities are part of what is going to drive Africa's future. And for me, this is what we mean when we say philanthropists like Mark Zuckerberg coming out and such innovators like Mark looking at this. We saw people like Bill Gates also investing in the chicken and trying to give as many as possible to improve the situation of poverty. But giving us this and making us own the fourth industrial revolution is part of what I'm seeing, and this is what philanthropism should be about.
Yes.
Well,
Steven, go ahead.
Okay, I bumped in, but there's a special emphasis on coding. I mean, this startup is for children, African children, to learn coding, and we know we're heading into a future where we need a lot of apps for agriculture, for everything, and well, the coding bit stands out.
Yes, and we also understand that this is something that he and his wife believe in. So at a certain time like this, Chantal, what is that advice that you'd give to different millionaires out there, and even just anyone who is growing up to become a millionaire, like
advising millionaires.
Ourselves? No, but different people who are in certain positions.
Yes, people who are in influential positions should be able to give back to community, because you never know, they'll go and they have to give others the best to rise.
For sure.
So this is really good for Mark Zuckerberg, and I hope the people actually take it in and use it as it's supposed to be used, not take it for granted.
All right, thank you, Chantal. And there you had it from Chantal herself, but of course we'll be moving on to the next story.
Now, moving on to the next story, which is, of course, we're still in Africa. Now, an official body in South Africa has ruled that university bursaries offered to proven female virgins were unlawful and should be scrapped. The Utukela municipality in KwaZulu-Natal province introduced the bursaries to reduce AIDS and child pregnancies, but the Communication for Gender Equality ruled that a bursary is contingent on a female student's virginity is fundamentally discriminatory. Ladies and gentlemen, such a ruling. And of course, it was quite a very big story last year when these bursaries were given out, especially in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, where the kingship is very much owned by the people, and the king also gets to see who are the virgin girls. And putting emphasis on the fact that these girls were not going to see a doctor, but were going to go through the process in which the king identifies virgins to be given this opportunity. I would say, of course, this is a very passionate talk with the ladies. I'll start off maybe with Peace. Your take on this.
No, please let it go to Chantal
All right,
first.
no
I'm
problem.
still taking this
first of all, I think people shouldn't be given a chance to study basing on whether they're virgins or not. Everyone needs a chance to go to school. So you never know. Maybe they're not virgins because of something. Maybe because they wanted money and they indulged into sex or something. And the king screening all the girls, well, that's a Zulu thing. I cannot comment on. But I think the scrapping off of those bursaries is a really good idea.
Now, Stephen, this is something that before I move on to Peace, look at this. 6.3 million South Africans live with HIV and AIDS. The number of girls that get pregnant has doubled from 68,000 to 100,000 in just 2 years. That means one way they wanted to use that to reduce that was giving these girls incentives to make sure that they are proven to be virgins before they go on, and also prevent them from such kind of harms as early pregnancies and the infection of HIV and AIDS. Would you say this was actually a good decision, or in one way or the other is just a pragmatic?
It's like a desperate measure. Because when you look at the advantages and disadvantages, it looks like something. I think the constitution, the cabinet was right to scrap this idea, because it's discriminatory as they put it. Because I don't really want to support it.
All right, Peace, your last take in a few seconds.
Actually, I think this was kind of a good idea. I'm sorry to disagree with these guys.
Okay.
But the whole idea of the king being the one to check, well, I don't think that's a better idea. But for that to reduce the rates of early pregnancies and HIV/AIDS, I think it's a brilliant idea. And well, as much as they're going to scrap it off, I think
Please,
they
can I
should
ask you a
think about
question?
it
It's a
twice.
Let me ask you a question to
Infected
Peace.
and be a virgin.
Well, not.
If, for example,
Yeah.
I was
Something
a
else.
result of
No,
if
but
I
they
was-
don't check for
Yes.
people who have HIV. They check for people who are virgins. That's the thing.
No,
But
let
to
me ask you.
reduce HIV and pregnancy.
Let me ask you,
Yes.
Peace. Peace. Let me ask you this question. If I was raped because you know, I was
See,
raped.
this is the thing.
No,
With
this
rape,
is
it's a totally different
but
case.
it does affect the same
Yes.
policy, right?
Well, it does, but
But then how does,
with
isn't that
ra-
discriminatory from all the others?
With rape, it should totally be a different case.
But then
right?
why would you
A
say, why
different
would you
case.
support such a thing, yet
Well,
you're still...
it depends. It
Don't you
depends.
think you're contradicting yourself then?
Not really.
Okay.
But let's move on to the next story. Of course, I would like to hear what you have to say about this.
All right.
But please, I should have more supporters
Absolutely.
on that. But of course, moving on to our next story, Serena Williams may be the greatest female tennis player of all time, but does not stop her from taking or giving back to the less fortunate. The 34-year-old tennis pro recently of course, constructed a new school in Jamaica. She has also previously built 2 other schools in Uganda and Kenya, respectively, partnering with different organizations to get the job done. She does not only raise funds, but she also gets her hands dirty to construct these schools. Now, what does this mean for, of course, we're talking about people of influence today, this Monday. And what does this mean for not only just writing a check and giving out to maybe Jamaica or Uganda or Kenya, hopefully, you know, different other countries in the future. What does this mean for someone to actually go out there and, you know, get their hands dirty and build a school from scratch? Ivan?
For me, I think it is quite humanity that you get time to pay back to a society or a community.
Yes.
I think responsibility and community building is not just an individual but a universal thing. And for me, you have different ways. If you have been blessed with enough resources, then I think it's one of the ways you can return back to the community. For me, I think she should be a symbol of what actually hard work outside your fame means. It means that you take out your time and go help those that are less fortunate to have things in life and give back to the society. And I think for her, the move is just not because she's Serena Williams, but she has the sole responsibility of serving the world.
Yes. Chantal, now education being the main factor here, what does it mean, especially for Africa and countries like Jamaica? What does it mean for, you know, schools to be constructed there?
Yes.
and yeah,
It means that more kids will be going to school and more Africans or Jamaicans will be acquiring quality education,
Yes.
which is something we are lacking actually. People in Africa will say they are poor and that's why they can't send their kids to school. So if schools are availed, I'm sure more people will be going to school. Even elders, by the way, will be going to school. We've seen some people graduate at 50, so that's really awesome.
for sure. Stephen, you have something to say?
Chantal said something interesting. Well, we'll see more people going to school. She's built one school. So
In the
At
future,
least.
in the future,
At least.
hopefully.
if more celebrities take up that, copy that idea,
Yes.
okay.
I mean, Oprah has done a tremendous job in South Africa, and all these girls have been successful ladies from their
It's
schools.
one school, but it can have as
Yeah,
many
absolutely.
students.
Now moving on to
Always
an
be.
international story. Canada's parliament has passed a continuous bill to allow medically assisted death for terminally ill people. The law was put forward after the Supreme Court struck down a ban on doctors helping the incurably sick to die. The move makes Canada one of the few countries where doctors can legally help sick people die. This is quite a big debate in some parliaments already, especially around Europe. Your take on this one? Legally treated, I mean legally assisted death, especially by those that
Yeah, I
have been.
do support it 100%.
Yeah. I
Why?
do.
Because people will spend half of their lifetime in the hospital with ailments that will never heal anyway. So it's better to, I don't know, how can I even call it?
Assist them to...
Assist
end
them
their
and
pain.
end the burden.
Yes, but I know at some point I could actually be on that side of the debate. But when you think about it, if it's you in that position or if it's your mother in that position, you'd want maybe a doctor not to help them die, but
To
to
leave
help
them
them,
to die.
not to leave them to die, but to help them at least struggle with that until we know for sure.
By the time
Death
they help
has
you to
occurred.
die, you've struggled enough.
Yes, at least I believe someone's battle should be their battle.
Stephen.
Maybe to counter your argument, there are people who've reached that point and have accepted that, okay, I've really suffered and there is no recovery from here. I'm ready to die. But when you find it's not legal. They
But
can't.
we've seen. I'm sorry.
So for such a person,
we have seen
and it's hard for family members to
cancer patients, you know, suffer from cancer, and they reach a point where they go through chemo and they're really done, and they're like completely discouraged. You know, and this happens to everyone who is sick at some point. You can't tell me at that moment if they kill them. You know, there are still chances of actually living. So I'm sorry, I still do not agree with you.
This is a person who says, I've really suffered and I don't see any.
Like, could you please help me?
Yeah, just help me end the suffering.
All right.
That's
no, I'm pretty sure if this debate goes on, this debate will go on. But this is, of course, somehow, somewhere, it's the miracle versus the science. I don't know how that could happen. But of course, that's why we have a debate like this one. And be sure to catch all the stories if you subscribe to YouTube and get the latest of what we've been talking about. We'll be back shortly with the story of the day. Welcome back to Rise and Shine, Rwanda's story of the day with me, Ivan Magwene. Now, after 3 years of building sustainable peace in communities across the country, the Rwanda Peace Education Program is coming to a close. The conclusion of this groundbreaking program will be marked by Peace Week, where there are a set of activities that share the success of the program and encourage all Rwandans to be champions of peace in their own villages and families. The Aegis Trust, of course, is organizing this and will be having the Ubumuntu International Youth Conference, which starts in a few hours from now. But before we go any further into the discussion, here is first a report on what has been happening in the Rwanda Peace Education Program, courtesy of the Aegis Trust. Take a look.
Right after the creation of this memorial in 2004, it became one of the most visited sites in the region. Children were asking questions about what happened during genocide, how can you overcome it? The answer we gave to these questions is to create a special program for them. The peace building education that started in 2009. To establish this program was not an easy job to do. The first question was, what kind of message should we give those children who have different backgrounds? Children who came from the side of perpetrators or children who has background as survivors. Getting a common message was a big challenge.
The Peace Education Program is focusing on how we might think differently in times of a division and crisis.
What kind of lessons do we use to help students develop the skill of critical thinking? You can't tell someone to be a critical thinker and it'll happen. You can't tell somebody to have empathy and it will happen. It has to come from within. They have to have experiences that help them develop those skills. And that's our goal with the teacher program and also with the student workshops.
This is not lessons that is taught in schools. It's not a discussion that is happening in families. And when it's happening, it's not actually in the form of building the person to be really resilient for the future. So the only information they're getting from the memorial during the workshops.
Byaragihinduye muri ubu buryo ko numvaga ko abahutu abatutsi badakwiye kubana nabo kubera ibintu bakoze turi kumwe tukishyira hamwe tukavanga ibintu ntago ari byo abahutu ntibari bakwiye natwe twagakwiye kubishyura ariko kubera ibintu abandi baje batuganiriza dusanga ahubwo dukwiye kujya hamwe tugasenyera umugozi umwe none tukubaka igihugu.
We have a good news. We have a message to the world. The peace education that started here at Golf Genocide Memorial, it has been expanded to the communities.
This outreach program is an extension of on-site program to reach more people. It's not only for students, though it is mainly focusing on them, but also community in general. So when we are together, we base on the exhibition, hearing the stories from people who have gone through, helps participants to understand more what happened in the history of Rwanda.
Nungukiyemo ibintu byinshi cyane urebye namenye amateka y'u Rwanda mbere y'ubukoloni.
Isomo nakuyemo nuko nabonye ko nzajya mbana neza n'abandi bana kandi nkajya nkomeza gukwirakwiza urukundo.
They say now we can understand that we are all one. Then we ask them, what do you think is your role to change this ideology? They say that we'll teach our children that they are Rwandans, they are not Hutu, they are not Tutsi, they are not Twa. So after the workshop, they are committed to do change in society and to be an agent of change. So if it gives opportunity to create peace or to promote peace in society, I'm very sure Rwanda will export this program to other countries.
And joining us today in studio is Mark Gwamaka from the Aegis Trust. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
First of all, I would love to ask you, are we actually ready for the Ubuntu International Youth Conference in ubumuntu?
Oh man, we are as ready as yesterday, very ready. Ready to start. Yeah.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit, before we get even into the actual occasion, tell us a little bit about the Rwanda Peace Education Program and the ubumuntu, even the theme around this conference.
So the Rwanda Peace Education Program is a program that started 3 years ago, and it has been going on for the past 3 years. We have 4 organizations in partnership. That's Aegis Trust as the lead partner, USC, Shaw Foundation, RLB, which is Radio La Benevolencia, and then you have ERDP. So these 4 organizations have been working together to educate people from villages, teachers, but also youth and young people. And in the past, concerning my department in the program is the youth, which is the young people. And we've been training, coming up with methodologies, which some of them will be put in the national curriculum, education curriculum, and others will be the activities that have been happening. Our approach is storytelling approach, and you've had things like Musecheweya, where people listen to theater and skits on radio. Aegis Trust using the memorial, but also the stories of rescuers, people who reconciled, people who united in different parts of the country. So that is our approach, and that's what has been happening. But also at the Kigali Genocide Memorial, there are education activities that go on a weekly or on a daily basis, where we have students who come, go through and learn, but also we have young people, those who are in school and those who are not in school, who also come to learn about what happened in Rwanda and how they can build sustainable peace.
Yes, when I got to see the theme for this year, for the the ubumuntu International Youth Conference, this kind of reminded me of last year's event, which was ubumuntu, the festival.
Yes, and that one will still happen.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to take you there because we're not yet opening up that same page, but tell us a little bit about what are some of the key issues that are going to be talked about and some of the key highlights of the week as this conference and as the Peace Week goes on this whole week.
Yeah, as you said, it is a part of the Peace Week. Young people, of course, from all over Africa and from all over the world have different activities that they do in different parts of the world. But Rwanda acts as a case study because we've been through tragedy, but also we've elevated ourselves. So we have a lot we can teach the world. That's what they're coming to do here. Our theme for the year is All for Humanity, which means every young person, wherever they are in the world, they can stand for humanity. So we have 15 countries coming, young people from 15 countries. And the highlights are going to start about Rwanda. We go to the reconciliation villages. We have other different speakers who are coming up to speak, those who are practitioners, but also people who have experienced or who experienced the genocide themselves, survivors who are going to give their testimonies and how they moved on and how they constructed, but also they reconstructed their lives. But the most important thing here is what can the young people do to build sustainable peace. And that's the key point for the ubumuntu International Youth Conference.
Yes, lots of activities I see happening throughout this week. What are some of the activities that are going to be happening?
So we'll be having a mobile exhibition, which will be in the Kigali car-free zone. That is Wednesday and Thursday. But also, apart from that, we'll be having other exhibitions in different parts of the country. Also, we have skits going on with RLB already on the radio, and we'll be opening up now for the whole city of Kigali for people to come and see what we've been doing over the years. I think that's the major event, but also The conference. The conference is going to be one of those where we'll be in Kigali, we'll be in the southern province, we'll be back, we'll be working at IRDP. It's those activities that will be happening, but the biggest one is the conference, plus the exhibitions that will be happening.
Yes, allow me to take you a little bit out of the same, but I think it's still in the same context. I just want to have a sneak peek of what you're preparing for the ubumuntu festival. What are we having it for our people? Because most people have been saying last year was a success. What are we seeing this year? Something a little bit more special?
I think there'll be special things for the festival. I think Hope will be the right person to answer that. But I know, like even right now, they have started setting up the amphitheater. So it's in the process. It's happening. If you see on Twitter, there are press releases. There are different activities going on. I think it's going to be fun.
All right, now coming on to my last question, looking at the conference and the whole theme, what would you like for people to take out as the package as this week goes on, the Peace Week at the ubumuntu International Youth Conference, especially the young people?
So young people have always been a catalyst for change, and whoever wants to change anything uses young people. What I want them to take with them back home when they leave this country, even those who are grandees, I want them to know that actually they themselves can make a difference. And that won't need any other person to tell them what to do. What they need is knowledge, and then they put that knowledge in action. So they have the power, they just need to put it in action. So when they go home, I expect young people who are fired up to act when they get back to their own countries.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And we hope to see you next time.
Yes, and we hope to see you at the conference.
Yeah, I'll be there, of course, to give out the coverage of this same conference that's happening. Stay tuned, of course, to Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be back shortly with business stories with Chantal Uwera.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with RSR and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back. Time now for business stories with me, Chantal Uwera. Rwandan traders are pushing for the removal of all non-tariff barriers along routes connecting Kigali to the East African coast to ease trade. This was highlighted on Thursday as East African Legislative Assembly members met hoteliers, tour operators and transporters in an attempt to grasp the problems they face while doing business in the region. Kenya and Uganda in plans to pull informal sector into tax bracket to any business whose turnover is between $5,000 and $50,000 during the year of operation. The turnover tax was passed in the Finance Act 2006 and the rate charged is 3%. Businesses taxed under this act are expected to maintain cash books, sales receipts and invoices. The penalty for failing to file returns by the due date is $20. A team from the Microsoft Dell offices in the United States has said the computer software and hardware manufacturers will soon open offices in Kampala to take care of their businesses in the region. The team, which was in the country last week, said business in Uganda has been growing at a rate of 20% per year, prompting them to have a legal presence in the country. And that's all we had for you in business today. Stephen Kalimba is up next with sports.
Welcome back. Time now for your sports news. With me, Stephen Kalimba. In local athletics, trial headed for Durban ahead of the Africa Athletics Senior Championship. The trial of Salome Nyirarukundo, Beatha Nishimwe and Clementine Mukandanga left for Durban for the Africa Athletics Senior Championship, slated for June 22nd to the 26th. The three will be making their debut appearance at the 20th edition of the biennial event. They have trained for 2 months and they'll be seeking to get minimum time to compete at the 2016 Rio Olympic Games. And in local soccer, striker Medi Kagere is in talks with AFC Leopards. The former Gor Mahia striker Medi Kagere is in talks with AFC Leopards over a possible move in the transfer window for the Kenyan Premier League. The former Amovi striker was slated to go back to Gor Mahia, who instead signed Brazilian striker Thiago do Lima. If the move is successful, Kagere joins Ismail Diarra and Emmanuel Shimwe, who recently signed from his former club, Rayon Sport. And in the Copa America, Messi leads Argentina to the semis. Lionel Messi scored and equaled Argentinian legend Gabriel Batistuta's 54 international goals as the Pumas beat Venezuela 4-1 to reach the Copa America semifinals. Messi's fourth goal of the tournament puts him level with Batigo as he is known. The Barcelona forward also made assists for Gonzalo Higuain, who scored a brace, and Eric Lamela to set up a semis meet with hosts USA. Defending champions Chile will face Colombia in the other semifinal after inflicting a record 7-0 defeat on Mexico. And in our sports preview, on Saturday, all roads led to the Kigali Golf Club, where the Genocide Memorial Tournament took place. This is the third edition of the memorial, and it attracted 64 participants in the Stableford format. Let's take a look at the review. 64 golfers turned up for the Golf Memorial Tournament at the Kigali Golf Club on Saturday. Taking place for the third time, the one-day event was organized in honor of club members Anselme Sakumi, Dr. Charles Munyanjeyo, and Gerard Bakaka. It was strictly for seniors, juniors, and the ladies and the amateurs. It was for charity, according to Dr. Davis Kashaka.
This was to be organized in a sense that at least we remember those who died. And then two, we also all the collections or the support we get today go towards supporting one or two members of the families that died during the 1994 genocide. So the surviving families will benefit from the contributions we've made today.
The Memorial Tournament is a prelude to a busy calendar in golf this year, with many tournaments lined up.
Well, golf, we have a lot. I have a packed calendar in my captaincy this year. We have MTN Open coming. We've got Rwanda Air in pipeline. We've got Serena Hotel and Rwanda Open in pipeline. We've got Brairia, we're still under negotiation to come in with club nights and maybe major tournaments. We've got IM Bank, Equity Bank. We've got Koje Bank. Everybody wants to really have a tournament here. But precisely those in the list, we've got MTN is upcoming. Then we've also got Liberation Day tournament. So we are likely to organize one tournament for Liberation. So that is upcoming actually in the coming 2 weeks. Yeah, but all these tournaments are on our calendar.
Other tournaments will call for Team Rwanda to travel to places like Uganda. The tournament comes at a time when the golf club is doing major upgrades to the field and a new clubhouse. The tournament was in the Stableford mode of play, which allows for competition and continuity in case of unsuccessful attempts at the holes, making it a suitable mode for a special day, according to player Anthony Olwit.
We always meet together for different reasons. Most of the time it's just to socialize. But today is special because in commemoration of something that happened a long time ago, and particularly because there were a number of golfers who fell victim to what happened during the genocide. This is the day when we come specifically to remember them and to meet with their families and find a way to continue supporting the families that they left behind.
And when it came to the competition matters, it got a bit philosophical.
I'll tell you a secret. Every golfer, first of all, sleeps dreaming of how they'll play the next day, and everybody dreams they'll play like Tiger Woods the next day. It rarely happens. In fact, it never happens. But it's the same thing. We always come looking forward to playing. We know the best we can do. On the good days, we do the best we can do, and on the other days, it happens the other way. Golf is a very unpredictable game, but it's always fun, and it's very social. The more important aspect of golf is it's a very, very highly socializing game because it brings back very close friends every weekend. And that's what everybody really looks forward to, even more than winning.
Trophies were awarded to players Song Ho-chan, Jean Bosco Mugabe and Patrick Mulenga as the first, second and third winners respectively. Stephen Kalimba, Rise and Shine Rwanda. There you had it. Peace Cruiser is up next with Lifestyle.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with RwandAir and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. It's time for Lifestyle with me, Peace Cruiser. Now, for this week's Motivational Monday, we are taking a look at the right foods to eat to fuel up your body before a workout session. Filling up your hearty food before working out is never a good idea, but there are a few lean snacks that you should take before exercises that will help you fuel your workout and maximize your results. Let's take a look.
Though you don't want to eat a ton of food before you exercise, there are a few small snacks that will help fuel your workout. Hi, I'm Kristen Goodman with Buzz60, and before you hit the gym, try some of these foods. About half an hour before you work out, eat some non-fat Greek yogurt. This is a light snack that's loaded with protein, and it won't make you feel full or bloated before exercising. Add half of a banana. This will help give you the digestible carbs you need to support your physical activity. And bananas are loaded with potassium to help ward off any of those muscle aches after a tough workout. If you work out in the morning, grab oatmeal. Oats are loaded with B vitamins that help your body convert carbohydrates into energy. Or try a bit of almond butter with veggies. Almond butter is rich in protein and good fats. It'll help ward off hunger cravings and keep you energized. Eating after exercise is also crucial to getting results. Lean protein like grilled chicken will help with muscle recovery and help the body burn fat, so eat about 30 minutes after working out. So don't fill up, but fuel your body with lean snacks. Power up with nutritious food to maximize your results. Buzz60, now you know. Pass it on.
All right, there is a few tips that can help you in your different working out sessions before you go into working out. There are a few snacks like carrots and different bananas, even peanut butter. I didn't even know that works. But Ivan, you have been going to the gym, and there are a few tips that you got from different workout trainers. Yeah. What would you tell the viewers at home?
See, Peace, the first day I went to the gym instructor told me the first thing you need to do, for example, if you want to gain weight, is eat. It's not just coming here to carry these metals around. And number two, if you want to lose weight, you also need to mind about what you're eating. And that's why, for example, what you're talking about, okay, sometimes you get to go to the gym when you've not eaten or you've not had all this kind of foods. But it's very important, even after this, you get to have foods, for example, rich in proteins, rich in vitamins, and it depends on what you're trying to do at the gym. Because at the end of the day, what happens at the gym goes out also out with what happens outside the gym, because they say actually your muscles get to develop or your muscles get to loosen up when you're actually out of the gym. So it's important that you get to eat all these kind of foods and get to talk to the nutritionist, get to consult people like Google, and get to know what to eat and also what to
do you guys have
live
anything to add? Oh,
well, I'll come for more notes, you know.
That. Of course, as you see, Ivan's suit fits perfectly now that he's been working out. But of course, that is all we had for you.
I'll take that as a compliment.
That is all we had for you for today's show. And don't forget, we'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what you're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on our Facebook page, and do send us your ideas for the program. Check out our Rise and Shine YouTube page, and please subscribe. That's so you can catch all the shows and the reports that we do. Find us on Instagram, and remember, we love to see your pics. Also, go ahead and check out our website where you can catch every single thing that we do here in the show, from backstage to on stage. And now we're on Snapchat, so you can go ahead and follow us there.
Yeah,
and of course, I'm Peace Quizera.
And I am Ivan Magwene. We'll be at same time, same place tomorrow. How is it?
Yeah, you know, it's
guys, it's Motivation Monday. Just need some motivation for this week.
Yeah, I'm hitting the market for those
for different things.
Yes. I'm going to start feasting on peanut butter now.
Okay. There you had it. Will be at same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, but for now, it's goodbye.
Bye.